Hello, welcome to the Wolverine Lifestyle Podcast, where personal growth meets deep thought and introspection. I am your host, Dillon Andres, and today marks the beginning of an incredible journey for myself, and hopefully for you. Over the course of this podcast, I'll be sharing information with you from my own personal journal entries. That's right, my own journal entries from my personal man diary, amongst other topics, of course, from time to time. Exploring the lessons and realizations that have shaped me into the person who I am today, based in the very same self-reflection practice that I run my clients through. Each week, we'll dip into a different aspect of our relationship with ourselves. After dipping into the relationship that I have with myself, using these deep personal reflections as a guide, this isn't about storytelling. It's about creating a space for transformation for the both of us. My hope is that the vulnerable information I am about to share with you will inspire you to look inward and explore the stories, beliefs, and emotions that have shaped your relationship with your inner child, your shadow, and your overall relationship with yourself. Today, in this very first episode, we're exploring the power of hope and how limiting childhood beliefs can hold us back from fully living. This episode is based on the journal prompt, what is a childhood memory that still lingers in your mind, and how has that memory shaped who you are today? For me, this reflection uncovered a phrase that I heard off and on throughout my childhood. It's a simple 5-word sentence, one I never thought would have impacted me in so many different aspects of my life, on multiple levels of those aspects. All right, are you ready for it? It's quite simple. Don't get your hopes up. That's it. Often, that statement was followed by something along the lines of, otherwise, a potential disappointment will feel like less of a further fall. Hopeful, right? This belief, while seemingly harmless, turned out to be quite a thief of joy and ambition. So let's unpack this together. What does it actually mean to get your hopes up? How do we rewrite the narratives we've carried for so long? And what does embracing hope look like in action? Well, let's get into it. Starting with the belief itself. Not get my hopes up. To not get my hopes up. It wasn't tied to a single moment, but rather a reoccurring sort of catchphrase when my parents or teachers or other adults said this phrase. I know now and understand that their heart was in the right place. They believed that they were trying to protect me from disappointment. But as a child, I didn't hear protection. I heard caution. And over time, caution turned into limitation. One of the earliest times I remember feeling the weight of this belief was when I was quite young. I was waiting for my dad to get home from working in the bush. He was always gone for a few weeks at a time, which as a 4-year-old felt like forever, of course. We had a calendar with the sleeps marked on it. We would cross it off and put a sticker on it every single day while I was eagerly waiting for him to come home. I remember counting down the days. Only a few sleeps left to go, I'd say to my mom excitedly. And there was this one time, I remember my dad's schedule got adjusted. We thought he was supposed to be home right away, like within a few sleeps. And then we found out he might have to stay at work for an additional 2 weeks. Or maybe it was longer than that, I can't remember. It was so long ago. There was a chance that he was going to be home at the original scheduled time, but my mom knew it was likely going to get extended to another week. Don't get your hopes up. You don't want to be too disappointed if it doesn't work out, is what my mom said. And there it was. One of the first memories of that phrase, don't get your hopes up. Now, in that specific moment, of course, nothing happened. But over time, something definitely shifted. My excitement, which at one point felt so pure, became tinged with doubt. And I carried this with me into adulthood, hearing it now and throughout this lifetime. And of course, over time, That phrase attached to each of these experiences in my memory bank, slowly but surely adding sunshine and water to that original rooted seed. That limiting belief finally took root and grew, where it quickly shaped my relationships, my career choices, my sense of self-worth, and the capacity I allowed myself to feel on each and every other emotion. I unintentionally designed myself an upper limit of how much I let myself feel everything: happiness, joy, sadness, anger, grief, etc., etc., etc. Don't get your hopes up became a mental habit, a way to manage my expectations, and also a way to fully avoid living. Let's pause here for a moment to just reflect on why I'm sharing this. One of my goals for the Wolverine Lifestyle Podcast is to take these personal, vulnerable stories and turn them into lessons that we can all learn from, including myself. I'm putting in the work here too. I believe that when we share openly and step into our own vulnerability, we give others the permission to do the same. So, if beliefs like "don't get your hopes up" have ever limited you in your life, you're not alone. And if you've ever wondered how to break free from this, well, you're in the right place. Here's the truth I've discovered. Hope isn't dangerous. It's actually essential. But hear me out for a sec. The kind of hope that truly transforms us isn't tied to specific outcome or expectations. It's tied to the energy of possibility. Now, I know you're probably not going to rewind that and listen to it again, so I'm going to say it one more time. The kind of hope that truly transforms us isn't tied to a specific outcome or expectation. It's tied to the energy of possibility. When we allow ourselves to hope, we're not just opening the door for emotions like joy. We're also building resilience, optimism, and compassion. On this journey together, we are going to explore a variety of topic areas, including healing our inner child, shadow work, health, fitness, spirituality, just to name a few, of course. Through this self-reflection, we are going to learn how to reframe failure and find the meaning in life's darkest moments, to unpack the beliefs that have shaped us. It's time to rewrite those stories that no longer serve us. This is the heart of the Wolverine lifestyle: to know yourself, know your worth, and own your life. As we wrap up this first episode, I want to leave you with a smidgen of homework. Reflect on your own life. What's a belief you've carried since childhood that might no longer serve you? Write about it, share it, or simply hold it to your heart and let it guide you towards a new perspective. And if this episode resonated with you at all, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Reach out to me on one of my socials. Of course, I'll leave all of the information in the show notes, or leave me a review. It helps this podcast reach others who might need it. Until next time, please remember, hope isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace, because when we allow ourselves to hope, we unlock the strength to create a life beyond what we once believed possible.